That happy hour intro's fucking bust. There's no point of that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get Christy to send me that again. That is not working. Anyway, hello there, everybody. It is a happy hour, hopefully. But Dr. Christy Winters, my regular co-hostess with the regular co-hostess, is having some technical problems at her end. So, yeah, no, my hair is delicious. The problem is, if you go for a shower and then you brush it all down so it's nice and flat, and then you go to bed for an hour, this is what happens. It looks worse than if you didn't do anything. That's the problem. Anyway. So, yes. Hello there, everybody. How are we all? If Christy can't make it for whatever reason, which is always, like, it's, you know, tech is a thing, it can happen, it's a problem. I told you yesterday of my my issues with trying to get those fucking wigglers on YouTube. So, like, you know, I don't have a great, like, footing. I don't have a great footing for, like, making the criticism. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here, I don't have a leg to stand on in this particular argument. But, either way, if she's not available, then we can, I can still do a show. I can. I promise. No, I can. There's always loads of content. I love you too, Ali Levine. Oh, hang on. Hello. It's Dr. Christy Winters!
Hey, how you saw me coming on, huh?
Yeah. Well, we're live.
Hey. Yay.
So,
Live.
yes. How are you?
Yeah. Trying to set up, I traveled with my computer, so I have to, like, set it back up before I can use it again. It's boring and stuff. How are you?
I'm extraordinarily well, thank you. How was Amsterdam, the land of the hamsters?
Yeah, it was cold, actually. There was, like, part of the canal actually froze over a little bit, an unused area where it wasn't, they got a boat. I saw ice, because it was cold. It was, like, below freezing. It was cold there.
That is cold. It wasn't that cold here, and it's like, I know it's a different place, but we're not that far away. But it wasn't that cold here.
Yeah, like, if it gets below freezing, you can definitely tell. Like, below freezing is just feels a little bit different from...
I had a Brazilian friend, a long time ago now, who I was explaining winter and stuff to. Not winter as in you, because you're winters, and that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know each other then, so I don't even know why I've made this little sidetrack. Very silly. And she was saying once that she lived very briefly in a village in the hills, and once it got down to 9 degrees above zero. And I wanted to terms of service. That was the coldest that person had ever felt. It was 9 degrees above zero.
Oh, bless. That's cute.
It's not. No, I think we need to invade Brazil and make it a lot colder somehow. I don't know. Open fridges. Is that how it works? I don't know. but we'll do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was the guy who did you see probably not the Instagram of the guy who thought that the big wind turbines were to cool the earth?
Why do? Oh God.
Because he thought when it gets hot, they just
I
put 'em
mean,
on.
okay, that has hurt my brain. That's actually that is like a punch to the cerebellum right there. What the fuck is why are people like that allowed outside? Why do they exist, Christy? Why?
Yeah, you can see his buddies going, "Wait, you thought that they were there to No, they're there to stop the global warming. Yeah, when it gets hot and they turn them on."
Yeah, like a bowl of fucking soup.
Yeah.
Prick. I mean, honestly, these people need to these people get to vote. That's
Yeah.
the problem. This is how you end up with Brexit and Trump and shit. Is dickheads who think that the wind turbines are there to cool it off when we get a bit sweaty. Fucking idiots.
Oh.
I mean, I suppose, at least there's a thought process there with Trump and it causes cancer. Where the fuck did he get that from?
It just it's like it's bad for the birds just randomly. Like,
Well, to be fair, there is. I mean, bird strike is a thing. It's not the end of the world, but it is definitely a thing that exists. But what he goes on about the and he keeps calling them windmills, brilliantly. They're not. That's not how that works at all. The windmill is a very specific piece of technology. You twat. The windmills cause cancer.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How? What? Look, that's honestly, he's the only person who I've ever seen even say that. Even the Trumpists haven't taken that one on.
Yeah, because he's a weirdo. He's a freak. He's a super.
What the
freak.
hell is he doing here? He doesn't belong here.
I don't belong here.
Oh, it's such a shame he became a Zionist freak. Shame. The Radiohead chap.
What? Tom York?
Yeah, apparently he's a big old Zionist.
Oh no, that's depressing.
That is depressing. Much like his music. I'm just going to put that out there.
I like Radiohead, but
I don't dislike them. I'm just saying it's depressing. Like, there's a mood.
It's definitely got its own flavor.
Not party music.
Well, sometimes it is.
No.
Yeah.
Then just no.
Yeah, Mixomatosis is kind of a party song.
No. Just if I go to a party and you put fucking Radiohead on, I think I might. I'm going to assume you're into cutting or something. I don't know.
I just wanna be your lover.
Are you high? Are you still on Amsterdam time, so to
that
speak?
would go back to Radiohead. Yeah, it's like just bringing back all of my like pharmacological things.
Yeah, Krista used to just sit there high as fuck listening to
Radiohead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you know what the Minister of Defence and Norway, Trump? It'll make you laugh. He said that Trump was a parrot for Putin. Well, he is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I mean, oh shit! It is on the bad site. I mean, it might be found elsewhere, but it was literally posted a few hours ago. He put out a statement about Ukraine, which I think might be worth looking at. It is on the bad side though, so I do. Is this one of those
Trump
occasions?
saying it?
Yeah. No, it's a Trump thing. Yeah.
I thought he was still trying to promote his Truth Social.
I think
gone, huh?
I think he still is on Truth Social. And I think so is the ghost of Hugo Chavez, if I'm not mistaken. Although he hasn't posted in a long time because that was like a joke that worked on one stream. And I didn't bother after that. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. What's that? Congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king.
There you go.
What the fuck? That's not even the one I was talking about. I was talking, does he put out a Ukraine thing? What the fuck? He literally posted this. The king.
Oh, is that the one where he did the Napoleon quote about if you do the laws?
No. That's another piece of fascism from this week. No, he put out congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king.
Okay, yeah. He's insane. We've known this.
Genius.
We've definitely known this.
Very stable genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, no, see, no, Maria, you did have a war about this, but you feel like it ended. And I don't think it did end. I think we're at half-time. Admittedly, the British are a little bit behind on the scoreboard, but I reckon we can take it in the second half. I reckon you'll tire. You haven't got the fucking stamina for it. Dickheads. Anyway. Oh, yeah, no, actually, okay. No, I don't even need to go to the bad side. It is on Blue Sky. Yeah. So, yeah, Donald Trump is a massive piece of shit. That's the basic theme.
Yeah, and insane.
The title of this will give you a fair indication of that, I think. Anyway, so he says, and this is, again, he's literally just a Putin stooge. It's fucking tragic to say. And remember this is going to go into history books, everyone. This is going to go into history books. And don't people dare compare this to Chamberlain. Chamberlain at no point went, Hitler's fucking awesome. We should let him take over everywhere. Like, he got shit wrong, but he was an honest actor. Whereas this guy is a fucking evil bastard. Right. I'm not going to try and do the accent. I'm just not. Think of it. Modestly successful comedian Volodymyr Zelensky, that's the president of another country, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay. Talked the United States of America into sending $350 billion. I believe someone pointed out that it was like 61 billion.
Okay.
But, whatever. Yeah. Also, most of it, the vast majority of it, wasn't money. It's like old equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit we already had lying around.
Yeah, yeah. To go into a war that couldn't be won, time out, Holmes lies. It could have been won. If you'd done what, not you, because you weren't in charge, lol. But if the world had done what I said and give them enough at the start to overpower the Russians. And they didn't. Brilliant.
Also, the Russians have not won this war either. So where's the shade at Putin?
Yeah. Mm. Well, no, he's Putin's mate, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we? There couldn't be one that never had to start, but a war that he, without the US and then Trump in all caps and quotation marks, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe. That is a lie. And Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. What? You're not taking the oil and the corn and shit from Ukraine then? No?
Yeah, exactly.
No? Okay. Cool. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization in that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean of separation. Right, dickhead, I don't know if you're aware of this thing called intercontinental ballistic missiles. This isn't 1906, where they'd have to literally send boats over to you. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God, he's the dumbest cunt. He's the dumbest cunt who ever lived.
Yep.
On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money he sent is missing. And missing is all in caps locks and quotation marks. So missing and Trump are the same in the way he constructs sentences. Okay. He refuses to have elections. He's in the middle of a war, my dude. Mm-hmm. Loads of countries don't have elections in wars. I'll be honest with you, America shouldn't have had its election during the Civil War. Mm-hmm. It's rare. That is a rarity that would happen. Where are we? Also, it refuses to have elections. You've just been negotiating with a guy who's never had a fair election.
Yeah, exactly.
He's literally a fucking dictator, you evil cunt.
It's like listening to Shuonhead complain about Republicans when Trump talks about Zelensky and Ukraine. I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. He refused to have elections is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden, quote, like a fiddle, unquote. Where's that from? Probably a Fox News presenter.
Yeah.
A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move. Don't let me. Okay. You went to Saudi Arabia to discuss peace with Russia.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about dictators without elections.
Fuck off, mate. Fuck all the way off.
Cool story, brosif.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Okie doke. Zelensky better move fast, or he is going to have not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia. Bang on, you're not either Ukraine or Russia.
Yeah, he's just talking to himself.
How does that work? Something all admit, only Trump, again in caps locks and quotations, and the Trump administration. But for some reason, the Trump administration doesn't do that. Does he think his own name is copyrighted or something? I don't know. Can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to bring the, quote, gravy train, keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine. Really? You seem to be trying to give quite a lot of it away. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered. I mean, to be fair, he was invaded and has been consistently being bombed for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, when you say it's shattered, it's not like in America where you just don't invest in infrastructure and planes crashes and fucking bridges collapse. Like
this is like this. People are bombing that shit.
Yeah, they've been bombing it for 3 fucking years, mate. And millions have unnecessarily died. And so it continues. ... Wow. Fucking mental. Fucking mental. Yeah. Winston Churchill was in office from 35 to 40. No, he was not, my friend. You have gotten that wrong. He was in office from 40 to 45. Just as a little factoid for you. If you mean there wasn't an election from 35 to 45, that is true, but he was not Prime Minister for all of that time. Just as a little history fact. Just, Anyway. But yes, we didn't have an election during the Second World War. Because we were at war and stuff. It's quite difficult when your cities are on fire to hold election and you've got millions of troops all around the world. And, we don't have emails yet.
Yes.
So... I got that from Wikipedia said Churchill was in office from 35. Well, they are completely fucking wrong. That is incorrect. Zelensky's approval is 57%. Trump's is 44%. Yeah. Yeah, no, Trump is one of the most unpopular presidents ever, yeah. I quite like that image. That's nice. That's about right. That about sums it up, really. Like, to be fair... Again, I said this before, with Trump, you get bang for your buck. If you invest money, either surreptitiously from Russia or apparently completely legally via Musk, you get your money's worth. They have reaped benefits like you wouldn't believe. What an investment Musk has made. Put $250 million in and has made $140 billion? That's a tidy profit margin.
Yep.
Fucking Putin has gone from being on the back foot in a war he can't win, crumbling public opinion, to now, like, basically the president trying to give him everything he wants.
Yeah,
worth every penny
in politics.
Yeah, embarrassing. But Trump's going to come a cropper because Europe isn't going to accept this. Ukraine isn't going to accept this.
Well, God, no.
So what does he even do? Where does he go from here?
Talk to himself in a corner, I guess.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, he's just bonkers. He's out there on his own.
He is. So, is there anything you particularly wanted to watch that you'd sent me, Krista?
No. I pretty much just got back from work and ate something and took a little rest. So,
you do sound sleepy. I'll be honest.
I am. It's been a long week already.
It is.
Well, I've been in 2 countries, so.
Cologne to the Netherlands is not
when
you say 2
4 hours each way. So.
When you say 2 countries, Christy, it's not like Zambia to Argentina or something. Come on now. There is a motorway, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one road that will
I
take
was on
you
a
to there.
bus. Flixbus.
Oh, you took the bus. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't drive, do you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, of course not. Yeah, I don't have a driver's license. I haven't had a driver's license in like 10 years.
But you can drive.
I can. I have the skills. I just don't have the legal permission.
Christy's got the skills, yo.
Yeah, I do not have the legal authority, though.
Fair enough. Okay.
I am lacking in that.
Okay. Do you want to watch the Trump and Elon Hannity interview?
Oh my God. I don't know. Sounds exhausting, but okay, we can try.
Okay, it's 9 minutes. No, that's 19 seconds. That's not. Well, hang on a minute.
19
That's
seconds would be better.
well, that is not at all what I'm after. I want the full. I want the full thing, yo. Hang on a minute. And then we might have a bit of JOB.
Okay.
Should be fun. Okay. Don't forget, everyone, you can give me money in the form of bits and subs and memberships and super chats and things.
Oh yeah, that's also things that you can do. Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
Oh God, it's dickhead and dickless.
True. Although it would help if I was not muted.
Oh, he's working for free with Doge. He's kind of putting a lot.
Well, no, apparently he's not. Apparently, for legal reasons, they're saying now he's not actually in control of Doge. He's just a presidential advisor.
Okay, sure, whatever.
And he's just like, oh, you can call him whatever. You can call him an advisor or the Doge or whatever. It's fine. No. There are very specific limitations on powers based on what his actual position in the government is. That's why we have checks and balances, cuntbag. What the fuck position does this man hold?
Also, he's doing that weird Merkel thing with his hands.
Yeah, well, he always... But someone said this, and it's so true. Whenever you see Elon Musk physical actions at all, he's always trying to become the next meme template. He's always trying to become like... He wants people to notice him.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of his life on hold. And you sued Twitter a number...
Wow, a lot of his life on hold. Like eating Cheetos and popping Xannies and fucking... You know.
Yeah, like putting up pretend bedrooms wherever his latest headquarters happens to be.
Yeah.
What a fucking waste and fraud that bullshit is.
Ridiculous.
of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well,
That's
I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really did a
God, he's
number
looking like
on
a
me, you know.
corpse.
And I sued, and they had to pay. They paid $10 million settlement.
You're okay
So?
with that?
I mean, I left it up to the lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's fine.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
So you gave him a discount when the lawsuit.
He got he got a big discount. I don't think he.
Right, so, I mean, this is so irrelevant and pointless and shit. But, like,
God.
if Donald Trump was actually a billionaire, why would he care about $10 million like that?
He
why?
looks like a corpse. He honestly, like, he is Weekend at Bernie.
His brain is gone, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
see he walked out of the room on Nikki Haley?
No.
And she was going to be was it invested or whatever the phrase is, sworn in.
Okay, he gave
And-
her a position somewhere?
You what, sorry?
He gave her a position somewhere?
Oh, yeah, she's the national security advisor, even though, again, she's another Putin stooge.
Wait,
Ridiculous.
is that Nikki Haley or is that Hawaii chick?
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard. Sorry, all these fucking traitors all look alike to me.
Okay, that's
No,
what
sorry,
I'm
no, Tulsi
Nikki
Gabbard.
Haley got a
Apologies.
job. Okay, all right,
No.
yes. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, she was being sworn in, and did like a press conferencey bit, like as they were stood there waiting, and then at the end of that, he just left the room.
Just walked out.
Yeah, they were supposed to do the swearing in, and he just walked the fuck out because he hasn't got a clue what's going on.
No, he has no idea what day it is.
No.
He even knows about it.
He's become
Yeah.
one of your, if you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the
He's-
president. I just want to be clear about that.
You don't
do.
care about that.
I know. I love the president.
You love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man. and he's, you know,
Well, they really are Epstein friends.
God, he really is the least articulate person in the world, isn't he?
I
It's nice the way he said that, you know? There's something nice about it.
really is.
It
You
is.
know, because I mean, the president's been so unfairly attacked in the media. It's really outrageous. And
Yeah, work the shaft, Elon. Work the shaft.
Yeah, this is like, oh, he's so inarticulate.
at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong.
What?
Not once.
You know, I've known him for
Wow.
30 years.
Yeah.
I spent
And
time with him, and I didn't find anything of his racism offensive.
Yeah, like, okay, but
amazing.
dude, in the time you've known him, you were Zig Heiling, so, like,
Yeah.
what you think is offensive or bad
Exactly.
is not really a standard I give a fuck about, to be honest.
It's like all these guys who, like, after like their friend has come out like, against sexual assault claims, and his buddies go, "I don't know, he's never like that with me." Like, well, yeah, because he wouldn't be like that with you, would he?
Yeah.
Because you're a dude. He's not into dudes. Like, hello.
never seen anybody take as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this, and I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
Can I just say, this is 3 sexual abusers. This is 3 sexual abusers just going, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
This is really pathetic.
It really is.
You would say that to me. I'm like, what
That's the
am I
only
going to
thing
do?
I can
Worry
say.
about it? And, you know, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was
That was it.
Yeah,
precipitating
because
event,
I want to
It's
have
really-
Twitter be a
Yeah, a
safe,
little
you
bit,
know,
yeah.
like a
The day of
neutral
the
place
assassination.
I didn't
politically.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how it was always supposed to be.
Yeah.
A neutral place.
Yeah. I just sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know everything about Elon because as I studied for and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you. I just want people to understand you a little bit better and the person that you've gotten to know and have now put.
This is you holding the feet of the powerful to the fire, is it? This is you.
Yeah.
This is your investigative journalism, is it, Sean?
This is his softball. Yeah, just a series of softballs lobbing it right across the plate.
The
Big fat ones.
embarrassing.
Yep, just put it over there, make it really super easy for him.
Put a lot of trust in.
Sure.
And, you know, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all
Take
these.
a while. I mean, you know, I think the way you think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world. And
You don't make
Yeah,
anything.
and,
No,
and that's why
yes.
like my T-shirt says tech support because
Ha 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 ha! My T-shirt says tech support.
Because I take millions of dollars away from my tech support staff.
Yeah.
They keep me
I'm
funded.
here to provide the president with technology support. And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly?
I think he mostly needs a catheter at this point.
God, this is like, you know, like J.D. Vance wishes he had this much time as a vice president.
Yeah. Well, no, J.D. Vance just gets shunted off to make dumb speeches that make America look bad.
Yeah, well, he did that in Europe this
Yeah.
week, last week, so.
Did you know Scotland
Doing
is
that.
basically Nazi Germany now?
What?
He
say
said.
that?
Well, he said, was it in Scotland you can't do something? It's to do with the exclusion zones around abortion
Yeah,
clinics.
someone was like hauled off for praying in violation of being too close to a building.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're not allowed to do like this overt religious shit
Yep.
to try and like
To
intimidate people who want to get healthcare. Yes, that's the law. That's the way it works. But apparently, this means they're just like fucking Nazis or something. The freedom of speech is totally gone. You can't pray anywhere.
Yeah, yes. Like trespassing apparently while you're praying is fine. As long as you're praying, it's not really a crime, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
That's
the homeless people.
that's the prayer indemnity. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
thing, but actually it's a very important thing because the president will make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then
Except, of course, he literally signed one yesterday saying that only he and the Attorney General get to dictate what law is, which is literally as unconstitutional as it can possibly be.
Yeah, he's doing all the unconstitutional things.
Yeah, just straightforwardly illegal shit. Yeah. Thank you, Cameron, with the super chat, who says, it really looks like they're at a couples counselling meeting, trying to talk about each other's strengths as a positivity class. It really does. It really does. Oh, these two have not had sex in years.
Then they don't get implemented, you know? If you take, for example, all the funding for the migrant hotels, the president issued an executive order, hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants, which makes no sense. Like, so obviously people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals. And yet they were still doing
Yeah, they
that.
wanted terrible conditions. We wanted to violate their human rights.
Yeah.
But if you're detaining people, it's your responsibility to house them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is, you don't have to detain them. You can actually just let them live at an address that they've registered for and get on with getting a job. But that's not racist enough for you, Elon.
No. Also, I will just point out that Elon Musk gets $8 million a day from the federal government.
Yeah, that's
He
a
is
waste.
the biggest welfare queen in the history of mankind. I imagine Doge won't be attacking that spending of
No, probably
billions,
not.
though. No.
Even as late as last week. And so, you know, we went in there and we're like, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the Doge team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out.
That's not your job.
So that's not government efficiency then. That's what, like, stormtrooper shit.
Yeah, basically, I'm a stormtrooper is what he's saying. I'm
Yeah.
a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
Important thing because the president is the elected representative of the people. So it's representing the will of the people.
Whoa, there, Hitler.
No.
What are you talking about?
Hitler.
That's not how that works.
Nope.
He's not the representative of the will of the people. Whatever he decides is law.
That's what they're trying to get to.
Yeah, literally. They're trying to do a fascism.
Yeah.
Just blatantly and openly.
And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the
bureaucracy are
president
the
from
people.
implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
You
We
are
live in
on.
an oligarchy.
You
dipshit.
are unelected,
Yeah.
Elon Musk. You have no elected position whatsoever, and yet apparently you're more powerful than the president, and you get to be just in the meetings all the time. You're just
Yeah,
there.
you can talk for him.
Yeah,
Trump never defers to anyone. You can
Yeah.
tell he's getting old and doddery
yeah.
because he's let Elon do all the talking here.
You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware that the media and the punditry class, not that, you know, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, you know, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every
Yeah,
late night comedy.
They
ones that
threw
wouldn't-
everything.
yes.
They threw everything at you. He literally had the second richest man in the world directly
not endorse.
interfere to say you can't endorse a political candidate.
Yep.
So he literally had the help of the richest and second richest man on earth. But apparently the power elite are against him. Mm-hmm. Fucking hell. Unbelievable.
Show, 2 cable channels. They just threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
And now I see
Victim playing
they want you two to
cunt.
start-
Always
they,
time.
they want a
All the
divorce.
time.
They want you two to start hating each other. And
Well, it's
they
a matter
follow
of time.
President Elon
Oh,
Musk,
yeah,
for example.
definitely.
You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, "You know, they're trying to drive us apart." I said, "Absolutely." No, they said, "We have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock." And I say, It's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it because if they
God,
were
he's
good at
just
it, I'd never
so-
be president.
God, he's so
Because
bad.
I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're literally
He's-
getting the softest ball interview ever right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, his brain is gone. This is why they don't bring him out anymore. Listen to him.
Yeah, he's a sort of dribbling idiot now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
Outside of you and
Yeah.
a few of your very good friends,
Right.
it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do,
They
actually.
get it. They
Yeah.
really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is I want people to know the relationship and know more about you. What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Well, I respect him. I've
It's what's called a human centipede. Yeah, it's Slurpee.
always respected him.
Trump's just squinting and like squanching. He's just mewling into the microphone.
Squanching.
Yeah, he's
What?
squanching.
The thing from Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Yeah, he's squanching.
He's squanching. Okay. Fair enough, yeah.
I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He
Oh, yeah,
did,
super, yeah.
Starlink. He did things that were so advanced and nobody knew what the hell they were. I can tell you in North Carolina,
Starlink isn't that, like, crazy complicated as a concept. Don't get me wrong, I couldn't build it myself, right? I'm not, but neither could fucking Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not that complicated a concept. No one even knew what the hell it was. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Because for you, the fax machine blew your fucking mind off in 1977. Like, shut the fuck up, mate.
they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were, you know, they had rivers in between. Land that never saw water, all of a sudden it was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, you know Elon Musk? They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system. That's unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah, and he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication, and it saved a
What
lot.
the fuck? This is two absolute gibbering fucking maniacs.
This is just like really. He's like off at his own grandpa senior center.
You got hundreds of units of communication. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Okay, grandpa, it's time. Let's go for your nap now.
How much internet do you have?
Lives. He got it.
Or literally, my dad, bless him, he still asks me. He doesn't really understand what I do, so he'll say when he wants to, ask me how my job is going, he'll say, "How's the internet?" He doesn't know what that means, really. But I just say, "It's going well, thank you."
That's
and with
cute.
that, we move on. But the thing is, that's why I don't want him to be in any position of authority, because he doesn't understand quite basic things about the modern world.
Yeah,
Whereas this
yes.
man is the president and is worse.
Far worse than your dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it. But he got it to him immediately, and I said, that's pretty amazing, and I didn't even know he had it. We watched the rocket ships, and we watch
Rocket
That's a
ships!
rocket
You know,
ship.
something that had-
Ooh,
Rocket
the
ships!
Ooh,
Rocket ships!
God, he's like a
Rocket
7-year-old child.
ships! And the choo-choo trains!
Yeah, basically.
And the
Yeah.
the automobile!
Good, the rocket ships. Rocket ships. Ooh, rocket ships.
Oh,
Rocket man.
oh God, his brain is
Yeah.
mush.
It is complete mush.
His brain is gone. His brain is gone. Oh, fucking hell. Do you think they have to remind him that he's president?
All the time.
Yes, I know you want to play golf, but it's Tuesday afternoon, Mr.
Yeah.
Trump. And literally, we've got like some terrorism stuff to deal with. But I'm not the president anymore. Yeah, you are. What? Can I have some pudding? I want some pudding.
had an effect on me was when I saw the rocket ship come back and get
Said
grabbed
it.
like
He
a-
said it again, Christy.
More rocket ships. Oh, he's just loving the rocket ships.
The
Ooh,
rocket ships. The rocket ships.
A beautiful little baby. You grab your baby. It just
Hug the rocket.
What the
I've never
hell?
Right, everyone.
Grab your baby. This is. What is this?
This is
Did they
a-
make
like-
the most inarticulate buddy cop duo,
Yeah,
the president
ever.
now? Fucking hell. They've made fucking Beavis and Butthead
Yes, real.
the president. Rocket ships.
Everything needs a hug, including rockets. You know?
No, but and he said, you know, you can't really have a rocket program if you're going to dump $1 billion into the ocean every time you fly. You have to save it.
Right.
And he saved it. First time that I've ever seen that done.
What are you
Apparently,
talking about?
he has
What do
gone
you
to
mean?
Mar-a-Lago this week to play golf. Of course, naturally.
We had a reusable rocket since the 1980s. What the fuck is he talking about? He's never seen that before.
Yeah. Well, he may never have seen it before, even if it's not new.
Yeah, it was his brain. He memory hold that.
Yeah.
It was his Alzheimer's making his brain
do
switch.
it.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, look, senility will do that to a man.
Yeah, clearly.
If you look at the U.S., Russia, or China, they can't do it, and they won't be able to do it for a long time. He has the technology. So you learn. I wanted somebody really smart to work with me in terms of the country, a very important aspect. Because, I mean, he doesn't talk about it. He's actually a very good businessman. And when he talks about
Or doesn't
the
talk
executive
about
orders,
it,
and this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
probably
Right.
true for all presidents,
Yeah.
you write an executive order and you think it's done. You send it out. It doesn't get done. It doesn't get implemented. They don't implement it. Maybe they're from the last administration, and they are in some cases. You try and get them out as fast as you can. But as soon as he said that, I said, you know, that's interesting. You write a beautiful executive and you sign it and you assume it's going to be done, but it's not. What he does is
That's sort of how it works. Yeah, you can't just. You're not actually a dictator.
Yeah, he thinks he is.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That government works that way. What again? He was fucking president for 4 years. He learned nothing about how any of it operates.
No, he's a moron.
Why, after 4 and a bit years of you now being president, are you now learning
Finally,
this?
yeah.
Why are you now learning that this is the case? Fucking hell.
he takes it, and with his 100 geniuses, he's got some very brilliant young
100
people
geniuses
working for him that dress much worse than him, actually.
Yeah,
They dress
20-year-old 4chaners that he's got
Yeah,
fucking running
exactly.
the federal government now.
So much for colorblind and merit based. It's just young white guys and a few
No,
Asian
some of
guys.
them are a bit Italian.
Yeah,
So
if you're willing to sell
Listen,
out
just T-shirt.
everybody in your ethnic group or lineage, or even like just nearby skin color, come and work for me, Elon.
You wouldn't know they have 180 IQ.
Wait a minute. So he's your tech support.
No, he is.
I actually
But
literally
he's
am
much
tech
more
support.
than that.
I
Yeah.
actually am tech support, though. But
He
that's
gets it done. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it done. You get a lot of tech people, and you have people that are good with tech, but he gets it done.
What?
You know, I said in real estate, you had
just
guys that
babbling.
would draw beautiful renderings of a building, and they'd draw the rendering, it would be great, and you say, great, when are you starting? But they were never able to get it built. They couldn't get the financing. They couldn't get the approvals. It would never get done. And then you have other guys that are able to get it done. You know, they could just get it done. I was in real estate. Same thing in this.
I think you just mean you met some rich people.
Yeah, well, basically enablers. Yeah, people
Yeah.
who are willing to sell out for you. Yeah, we know the
Unbelievable.
type.
Yeah.
He gets it done. So when he said that, he said, you know, when you sign these executive orders, a lot of them don't get done, and
Yeah.
maybe the most important ones. And he would take that executive order that I'd sign, and he would have those people go to whatever agency it was. When are you doing it? Get it done, get it done. And some guy that maybe didn't want to do it, all of a sudden, he's signing. He just doesn't want to be.
What the fuck was your chief of staff doing for 4 years?
Yeah,
Because that's
Nothing.
their job. It's
Yeah,
their
you'd
job
think.
now. I don't even know who his chief of staff is. But like
no, Elon Musk apparently.
Elon Musk, yeah. Like that's the point of having that person. That
Mm-hmm.
person and their team go to those departments and say, you know, this is the policy of the government, this is the executive order, this is the law, do this. Why are you now just learning that, like, it isn't like a computer program where if you type it in, it just becomes a part of the thing. Like, you writing on the piece of paper that my executive order on rocket ships doesn't make it magically burst into life. You're not God.
Yeah,
America's so done. It's over. It's over.
Bother.
Do a lot of those executive orders have to be codified into law? Do you need the Republican
Yeah,
Congress
and
to
they will
follow
be.
up?
A lot of them will be. Yeah.
They will.
But look, in the meantime, we have 4 years. The beauty is we have 4 years. That's why I
No, you
like doing
don't.
it right at the beginning, because an executive order is great. I mean, the one problem, it's both good and bad, because when they did all these executive orders, I've canceled most of them. They were terrible. I mean, we're going to go radical left communist. Okay, it was crazy there.
Communist. Joe Biden was a communist.
Yeah, because he was taking all those, he was just like all those means of production. He was totally.
Yeah, you know how he
liberating them.
collectivized all the farms?
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
That happened, definitely.
Really crazy.
Executive orders were so bad. If they ever got them codified, you'd never be able to break them. So
What the fuck are you
the
even
damage
talking
that
about? you
Biden
dumb
has done
shit?
to this country, and it's not even Biden, it's the people that circled him in the Oval Office, okay? But the damage they did to this country, in terms of, let's say, open borders, you know, there's so many things, but open borders, where millions of people poured into our country, and hundreds of thousands of those people are criminals. They're murderers, they're drug dealers, they're
Can I just say, can Democrats actually just listen to this, right? It doesn't matter what you do, because Joe Biden was actually very harsh on immigration. Much harsher than I'd like him to have been. They don't care. Then they're going to call you a communist and say you had open borders either way. So just run the immigration policy you wanted to run. Because it literally doesn't matter. You are never going to win them round. You're never going to convince them that you've got a secure border. Never. You can literally have Joe Biden fucking killing immigrants live on TV. And they're never going to... They just won't care. They've decided. So just do the thing you were going to do. Do the policy you wanted to do.
members. They're people from prisons from all over the world. And we have a great guy, Tom Homan, and he is doing so incredibly. You saw the numbers, they're down like 96%.
95%.
He is a phenomenal guy.
What
And Kristi Noem's doing
95%
an-
you been talking about?
Of what?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
what? What does that mean?
Nothing.
Yeah. I see. Susan Wales's wide-eyed stare as Donald Trump, he unveils his plan for Gaza goes viral. Okay, but who the fuck is she? Oh, she's the chief of staff. Oh, okay. Okay, that's quite funny, actually. So, okay. I see why you've sent me that. So this is his actual chief of staff, who I've never even
Okay.
heard of. Susan Wiles. And that was the face she pulled. When he revealed, like, we're just going to buy Gaza or whatever. Yeah. Because, again, with Trump, the policy changes from week to week. It's literally pointless engaging with Trump as a world leader. Our current sitting prime minister is going to go to the United States next week to try and get an American backstop to any potential peace deal. Which, in theory works, right? In theory, it would be nice to have America's guarantee that if Russia broke a peace treaty, America would be the guarantor that would, pick up the financial or political cost for that and would back the Ukrainian government. But even if you managed somehow to give away enough stuff to Trump in order to get his agreement to such a plan, that as soon as you left, he wouldn't he wouldn't honour it. Like, literally, the next person he talked to would give him a different piece of advice, and that would be gone. Mm-hmm. That agreement you signed or agreed to would be worth nothing. So, again, what's the point? What's the point in talking to him? Irrelevant.
I go back to this insane excuse for an interview.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Also, you can see the colour of your actual skin. You don't blend at all there, Donald. That's really bad.
It's really like a guy in his carrier out, at the shopping mall, and
Yeah.
he thinks he's the president, and someone's like humoring him.
Job. And he wanted her. He said, she's so tough. And I said, I don't think of her as that way. She's very nice. He said, no, she's so tough. And she is. I see with the horses. She's riding the horse. Let's go. She's great. But
She's riding the horses. This is a
Okay.
presidential interview.
Yes.
Just want to remind you of that.
team we have is really unbelievable. But those executive orders, I sign them, and now they get passed on to him and his group and other people. and they're all getting done. We're getting them done.
Let me.
So what the
There
fuck
you
is
go.
the chief of staff for? Why is the American government, American taxpayer, paying for the chief of staff? What are they doing? Making the fucking tea? What?
Let me go back a little bit to your background, because
Sure.
it's beyond impressive. You were the chief engineer, for example. You were an early believer in Tesla. You became the CEO.
Chief engineer makes him sound like he was making things.
Yeah, when he
wasn't ever. He has made nothing.
Yeah.
and then the chief engineer, which was phenomenal. SpaceX, same thing, which is unbelievable. I mean,
Even
Wow.
the interviewer's an incoherent fucking loser.
That's unbelievable.
That's
This is
unbelievable.
It's
Yeah,
all
Tesla.
unbelievable.
Tesla
It's
was
all
unbelievable. SpaceX is
Oh,
unbelievable.
God, this
PayPal
is
is
like-
unbelievable.
This is the master race.
Mediocre white men.
Yeah, subpar, if anything.
the first company, private company, to send astronauts successfully into space. First private company.
Wow, a thing that had happened for decades.
Yeah, like
Not
just
that
a
impressive.
Private company to do it. Yeah, like it's literally been happening for 40 years by the
Yeah.
time you did it,
Brilliant.
and you didn't even do it. You had smarter people than that.
But-
You're just stealing their money.
Well, did you know that he's going to use Tesla and SpaceX people to sort out the air traffic control? You know, Tesla and SpaceX, the companies that are famous for their vehicles exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to take over the air traffic control, so everything's going to
I'm
be
sure.
fine.
Yeah. Sure, that's
Well,
gonna
I asked the
work out
question
brilliantly.
yesterday, Christy, and as an American, you may have a view on this. When do you think that air traffic deaths are going to overtake school shootings as the leading form of death in America?
Oh, that's going to take a while because we have a lot of school shootings.
But then someone brought up the interesting possibility: what about if planes start crashing into schools?
Oh, well, they
So
get
what
two
side
for
of the
one.
ledger do you even put that on?
Yeah.
Crazy.
To send astronauts into orbit.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
He's going to go into orbit soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going to go to Mars. He's going to fly on
Starlink.
his...
By the way,
He's not
Elon,
going to-
you're not going anywhere. We know what you look like. You need to be physically fit to withstand the pressure of going into space.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking pregnant whale. And that's
none of your
fine.
kids will miss you.
That's exactly it. That's fine. You can look like a pregnant whale. Trust me. I have a mirror. But neither I or you are in fit condition to go into space.
He's not going into space.
No, it's never happening.
Yep.
At some point. Yeah.
Is in
I
over.
mean, they always ask me, like, do you want to die on Mars? And I say, well, yes, but not on impact.
See, the thing is, I don't. I quite like. I don't care where he dies, just as long as it's very soon. You know, whether it's Mars, Earth, anywhere. I don't care. Just soon, Elon.
Starlink is in 100 countries. This is going to be hard. I feel like I'm interviewing two brothers here.
You go ahead.
Star Shield, which could be used for national defense.
Yeah, it is already being used for national defense.
Then you have
Yeah, sure it is, babe.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Optimus, a part of Tesla.
The robot, yeah.
A robotic arm. Then you have an AI arm. And then you have something that really fascinated me, and it's called Neuralink.
Yes.
You might help the blind to see, and
Yes.
people with spinal cord injuries, that they can recover where in the past.
So the COVID vaccine has got cancer in it, and you shouldn't take it. You should take horse paste. But this evil billionaire should definitely be able to put chips in your head. This is a good thing, honest.
Even like Hannity's having a hard time enunciating his words today. It's like the old folks' home.
It really is.
like,
It
yeah.
really is.
Like rebound, repeat.
How close is that?
Yeah.
It's like there's a vortex of derp in the room that's sucking him in. Because one thing Hannity has always been is an efficient propagandist.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Not a good person. A sexual abuser. Again,
Yep.
just worth reiterating, we are watching 3 sexual abusers. Yes, only some of whom have tried to pay with horses. Only some.
2 out of the 3.
Yeah, 2/3 of them have tried to pay. That we know of. I don't know about Hannity's horse-based remuneration past. It's not in public record. Anyway. Yeah, so these 2 inarticulate fucking dirtbags are like sucking him in. There's a gravitational pull of stupidity that's like bringing Hannity down to their level of like soup-brained fucking senility.
Yep.
Becoming a success.
Neuralink, we've implanted Neuralink in 3 patients so far who are quadriplegics, and it allows them to
Talking about the millions of monkeys you killed? No? No? Okay.
directly control their phone and computer just using their mind, just by thinking. It's like, so we call this product telepathy. So you control your computer. And
No,
phone.
but it's not telepathy.
It's not.
It's not.
completely not telepathy.
What the fuck? Hell? This is awful. Honest to God, this is awful.
Just by thinking.
Yeah.
And it's possible to actually control the computer and phone faster than someone who has working hands. Then the next step would be
Right,
to add
'cause it's an
a
electronic
second
impulse,
Neuralink
yeah.
implant past the point where the
Trump's already
neurons
falling
damaged,
asleep now
so that
because
somebody can
it's
walk
not
again.
about him.
And so
Also,
they're-
this is Elon Musk saying this, so I don't even think this actually has happened.
No, you can't believe anything that's.
It sounds vaguely impressive, like that sounds, whoa, okay, interesting. But I don't think this has happened.
No, none of these things have happened.
No. Like, oh, I'm definitely going to go to Mars. Yeah, you said that 10 years ago, mate. Where you at?
Full self-driving is just around the corner.
It is. Full self-driving taxis is just around the corner. Honest, guys.
they can have full body functionality restored.
And you like Bobby, right?
I like Bobby, actually, yeah.
What? What the fuck?
He's talking about Robert Kennedy Jr.
Wow.
Yeah, he's talking about RFK Jr. Yeah, no, I like Bobby, yeah, because
Just
he
randomly.
sawed the head off a whale.
Yeah, I like Bobby. I like Billy. I like Sally. What the fuck are you even talking about, old man?
He's just, yeah. You know Bobby from down the street? Yeah, you like Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby's
you know
cool.
Bobby.
Yeah. Babala! Babba.
I supported Bobby Kennedy. I think he's unfairly maligned as someone who is anti-science.
Just because he literally
Is just
Yes.
because he's literally against science, he's being
Yeah,
labeled
yeah.
anti-science.
Yeah. Just for the crime of being anti-science. He's so-called anti-science. Yes. Yeah.
But I think he isn't. He just wants to question the science, which is the
Okay. No, again, I'm just gonna have to point this out again for all
Yep.
of the idiots. By all means, question. Questioning is good. But when you are given answers and evidence that back up and support those answers, and you still ask questions,
Yep.
I don't think you're looking for an answer. You're looking for the thing you already believe. You're a bullshitter. Fuck off. And they say, do your own research. Okay, what research did you do? So did you do lots of linear studies on COVID? Did you? No, you didn't. You read a blog. You made freedom.blogspot, and they said that horse paste was better. You listened to Joe Rogan and his weird nipples talk shit. That's what that's your fucking research. Fucking do your own research. Just do one.
essence of the science. The scientific method fundamentally is about always questioning the science.
Oh, they didn't tell us.
Right, but looking for an actual answer. What evidence has Bobby Boy produced that the COVID vaccine was engineered in China, but specifically not to affect Chinese or Ashkenazi Jewish people? A claim he actually fucking made.
The truth about COVID.
Correct.
That's for sure.
Yes.
And we learned a lot with the Twitter files.
No, we
and that
didn't.
just
Did
then
we?
raises
Yeah.
a question. You're the richest man in the world.
Would fuck you.
You may not like that part. You're pretty
I mean, it's
competitive.
neither here nor there.
I've
I
known
don't
you a
know if it
long time.
matters.
But
That's why I
but he's on your team.
president. That's,
Well, that's true. He can't top that.
he's good. You know, I wanted to find somebody smarter than him. I searched all over. I just couldn't do it.
Well,
Sure you did.
I believe that. I believe that Donald Trump couldn't find anyone he
Yeah.
thought was smarter
Yeah.
than Elon Musk. Yeah, that I believe.
You
couldn't-
really tried hard.
I couldn't find anyone smarter, right? So we had it for the country.
But this is the thing.
We settled on this
Well,
guy.
thanks for having me.
So
I'm just trying to be useful
this is
here.
the interesting. This is where we are as a society, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to do it anyway. You're doing all of these things. Doge, nobody at Doge gets paid a penny, correct?
Well, actually, some people are federal employees.
Some
so
are,
they do-
okay.
Yeah,
They're helping.
But it's fair
So
to say
they're getting
that
paid.
Yeah.
the software engineers at Doge could be earning millions of dollars a year, and instead of earning a small fraction of that as federal employees.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we know that there's definitely. By the way, amazing still there. Yeah, we know that there's no way in which you could ever, misuse the information you've had to earn even more money later on
Oh,
by
look
having
at
contacts in DC. Yeah,
those people who are working for him right now aren't actually the best. They're just the ones willing to like abase themselves the most. That doesn't make them the most talented.
Very
It's just
much so.
that they're most willing to grovel before Elon Musk.
True.
That's not a job qualification.
So just
And they're very committed people.
so
Yes.
you're
They should be
committed
committed,
to
yeah.
helping the blind see, people with spinal cord injuries recover.
Yes.
You're committed to getting to Mars. You're
Oh yeah,
committed
do you
to
remember
you're gonna
leaving your
help
kids
rescue-
out, like using your kid as a human shield, and just continually fathering kids without any responsibility for their upbringing or being a good decent parent?
Yeah.
Gonna mention that, Sean?
No, because this is embarrassing. He's trying to make him look
Yeah.
like Jesus. You're trying to make the blind see. Okay, yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
You next month 2 astronauts that I think were abandoned. They dispute that in an interview.
When are you
At the
getting them?
president's request, or instruction, we are accelerating the return of the astronauts, which was postponed kind of to a ridiculous degree.
They got left in space.
They've been there. They were supposed to be there 8 days. They're there almost 300.
Biden.
They were
Yeah.
Yes, they were left up there for political reasons, which is not good.
Even though they themselves say that that's not the case.
Yeah.
But don't
But
let
why
facts
be-
get in the
yeah,
way.
No,
Yeah.
no, you always have to like be lying. Otherwise, what's the point of opening your mouth?
Okay, it's not good. Now, if I had the weight of the pressure of doing that successfully on my shoulders, I think I'd be, but
Yeah, we get it. You're a dick sucker,
we
Sean.
spoke before we did this interview. You were
God.
very confident. You think this will be a successful mission.
Well, we don't want to be complacent, but we have brought astronauts back from the space station many times before, and always with success. So, as long as we're not complacent,
When are you going to launch?
I think it's about.
Why are you asking him that now? What? Why don't you know that? Well, you're the fucking president. Why
Grandpa
don't?
doesn't know what's happening.
You're just
Kevin.
casually going to ask. Oh, so when are you going to do this internationally important thing then?
Yeah, he's just gonna jump in on the interview too. He doesn't know what's going on.
Do you hold cabinet meetings? Ever? Do you listen?
Nope.
Are you capable of memory?
About 4 weeks to bring him back.
About 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And
He's already
Extremely
forgotten.
cautious.
He's literally
Now
already.
have the go-
He's already forgotten. He doesn't.
Yep,
If
it's
you
already
if you
out of
asked
his brain.
Trump now that
No,
specific
yeah.
second, when's he doing it? He'd go
Sometime next month.
couple of months. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks to you.
They didn't have the go-ahead with Biden.
What's
He
that?
was going to leave him in space. I think he was going to leave him in space.
Well, it's
He
like when
considered
we were
it
growing
like-
up, lost in space.
Yeah, he didn't want the publicity. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
What are
And
you talking?
so-
I've never seen a three-way dick riding contest like this. This is amazing. Honest to
This is
God,
so painful to watch.
no testicle
embarrassing.
not left. No testicle left behind. That's the thing.
I want to echo something that the president said and then ask an overarching question. So people get hit with Hurricane Helene, they have no communication with the outside world. You come to the rescue, you donated that, I
Yes,
believe?
yes.
Okay. You donated to the people.
No, again, he didn't donate.
No.
He was being paid by the federal government.
Yeah, and he was like making people do like buying $120 fee or something to get
Yeah.
the satellite dish on your free sign up, so it wasn't free at all.
He saved a lot of lives in North Carolina. He saved a lot of lives.
And California after the wildfires?
California, but I mean, in North Carolina, where they were really in trouble, they had no communication. People were
Nothing.
dying. They were dying of starvation. He saved a lot of
Of
lives.
starvation.
I doubt it.
What the fuck are you?
Grandpa doesn't know anything.
No.
North Carolina.
Okay.
You're like
now you're gonna
Bubba.
rescue astronauts. And now, and again, you do all of this. I would think
No,
liberals would.
what the fuck? No, you do all of this. Are you all on fucking
God,
drugs?
like they're all like on weed or
You've all
like
been
they're all boring.
sedated. What the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you?
It's boring as fuck.
Like, listen, I'm gonna go skip back 5 seconds. Listen to Sean Hannity, like, I don't know, have a
Blather.
stroke or something.
And again, you do all of this. I would think liberals.
You do all of this. What is wrong with these fucking people, man?
Everything is on half
Holy
speed today.
shit. Yeah, we should have listened to this at 1.5. Yeah.
Liberals would love the fact that you have the biggest electric vehicle company in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be adored by the left, you know.
Yeah, not anymore.
You were never adored by the left.
No.
Ever.
You were adored by your own like dick riders. That was
Yeah.
about it.
these
He
days.
killed that, huh?
I mean, less.
I really didn't know.
Well, I mean, this whole sort of like, you know.
I think him
it's the-
becoming a Nazi was the thing.
Yeah, and attacking Democrats.
Yeah.
I think that probably did it.
call it like Trump derangement syndrome. And I
Oh, so they call it Trump derangement syndrome. A meme from 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was really upset. I couldn't do racism on Twitter anymore, so I bought it so all the racists could come back.
Yeah.
And now the left doesn't like me anymore.
You don't realize how real this is until, like, you can't reason with people. So, like, I was at a friend's birthday party in LA, just a birthday dinner, and it was like a nice, quiet dinner, and everyone was behaving normally. And I happened to mention, this is before the election, like a month or two before, I happened to mention the president's name, and it was like they got shot with a dart in the jugular that contained like methamphetamine and rabies. Okay, and they're like, wow. And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, guys.
You see, he's trying to become a meme. He's always trying to become the cool meme guy.
Well, he's trying to like make up for the fact that he lost all his video gaming cred by being outed as a cheat.
And all of his children.
Yeah, and all his kids hate him.
Yeah.
It's like, you just can't have like a normal conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You can't have a normal conversation
Dude,
about our
you're the one who
Führer.
you banned the word cis on your little safe space.
Yeah.
So tell me again about conversations.
Free marketplace, Krista. The Everything app.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's
how's
like
that
they
working out?
become completely irrational.
He has no idea, but if you're friends with him,
Yeah.
you pay a price. You know, it's
Well,
like I
well,
walk in a restaurant in New York and it's like half the room that's
No,
stuffed.
everyone hated you, Hannity, before this.
Yeah, long before. Trump.
When you were dick sucking fucking 3 presidential candidates ago. Yeah.
daggers and they want to.
No, the eye daggers level is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like, I had like some invitation because so I got invited to like basically a big sort of.
Oh my god!
Do a
fucking get me out.
sentence! A complete sentence!
Dem event like that was, but it received the invitation like the beginning of last year, and I still attended even after I'd endorsed President Trump, and I didn't realize how profoundly that would affect, how I was received.
Well, you're a fucking
Wow.
idiot then. You're literally
Yeah.
the stupidest. So, what? You've endorsed the man that says that they're all demons and evil and are eating baby brains, and Barack Obama is a Kenyan Muslimic. And you went to that party's event and they didn't like you.
Yeah,
And you were
like-
surprised by this.
Yeah, you're not that smart then, Elon. That surprised you.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I walk into the room and I'm getting just the dirty looks from everyone. Like, if
This is
looks
the
could
whole
kill, I would have been
obligatory.
dead several times over.
Oh, look at I have terrible opinions and people hold me accountable. Oh, let's talk about how victimized we are.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been pulled over by the cops though because I've been racially profiled, or shot by them. But let me talk about my oppression.
He is oppressed. Well, look, the South African whites are the real oppressed minority.
Exactly.
Fun.
Over.
But that was not before Trump.
be like those just be ashes on the
before
floor.
BT. Before Trump, that never happened, right?
No.
Fucking hell. You know what? I need to cleanse. I need to cleanse with a lib, Christo.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna do some dancing.
No, we're gonna do some Notorious J.O.B.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the fuck this is about, but someone posted it in the thingamajig, so
Okay, let's see what he's got going on.
I feel like this would be a good way to, well, I'll say end the show. We're only an hour 15 in, but we probably will end the show.
Wrap it up.
now,
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of a long night.
Reese is in Manchester. Reese, what would you like to say?
Good morning, James. I can lean both ways on the fence with this, in fairness. Having served as a police officer now for a number of years, I see the direct impact that what I would describe as lenient sentences have on victims. I think once you deliver a message to them that the offender has received what I would describe and colleagues would describe as pitiful sentences, it crushes them. But I also see that this...
Okay, but what about the fact that police officers keep committing loads of crimes and don't get any sentence whatsoever? Are you okay with that? Because that happens a lot. I don't hear police complaining about that, though, surprisingly.
Side that the previous caller makes regarding reoffending and sort of seeing the wider picture. However, the victim at the time doesn't really give a monkeys about the wider picture and future victims. They're a victim now, so they want the outcome that's best for them. And often it's the case that the individual, the offender, is sent for a custodial sentence for a long time is the ideal outcome. That's what they sort of make.
It's what you celebrate almost in the public gallery with a sense of relief or a sense that justice has been seen to be done. What I find a little odd about your contribution, especially as did you say you were a police officer?
That's right.
Is that the sentences are longer than ever before. They've gone up by 40% since 1993, and you think that you've watched an increase in leniency.
Absolutely. So from my experience with sentences, we've often seen sort of a specific example would be around the paedophile hunters and that type of offending. A lot of suspended sentences around that type of offending, which I would ordinarily have expected custodial sentences for. I'm all for rehabilitation.
We can pick specific areas, I suppose, but the numbers are not debatable. The average custodial sentence for an indictable offence in 1993 was 16 months, and now it's 22 and a half months. So there's been an increase in prison terms by about 40% over the last nearly 30 years, and you think there's been a reduction.
Well, this is so typical. Like people, the crime continues to go down, and yet the fear of crime carries on going up. Mm-hmm. It's that fucking thing all over again. God almighty. Yeah.
Well, the way that crime is reported on does not really represent how people experience crime. And so we have a really bad, our memory is based on our media consumption. Yeah. And media goes to sensationalism. Yeah. And so on the one hand, like you either get in like mass shootings, you just get like deadened to them, or you think that they're happening, like every 5 minutes. So. Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally,
but we have to stop there, because that is a beautiful illustration of the two questions that we're asking today. Here are the facts. Why do the British public believe the opposite? And you as a police officer are just denying the evidence of your own eyes and ears. There's been a 40% increase in prison terms. That's the severity of sentences. That's not the total number of sentences. It's gone up from 16 months to 22 and a half months. How long have you been a police officer?
15 years now.
So over the course of your career, prison sentences have got longer, and yet you're here to tell me that they've got shorter.
Absolutely. Yeah, from my experience, it seems...
We can't keep saying...
Yeah, from your experience, dickhead.
Yeah, the cases that I'm remembering is not a valid, it's not a statistic.
No.
From my experience, this report has counted all of them. Reece. It's counted all of the sentences across all of England.
Well, you can prove anything with
all
facts.
of the years between 1993 and 2025, and they've gone up by 40% in length, in severity. And yet you're here as a police officer with 15 years on the clock.
And I wonder why we've got no fucking spaces left in prisons. Do we need the prison population this size? Do we want to be like America?
To say, oh, well, in my experience, the opposite is true, as if that matters.
Sorry, so are you saying from the statistics they're saying that the actual sentence is longer opposed to more people are being sent to prison?
The severity of sentences, which has led to, more people are being sent to prison as well. I thought I'd made this pretty clear in the introduction. So the number of people being sent to prison has gone up from 100 and...
Both. Just say both. Both of the things you are querying, caller, have gone up. Yes.
24 per 100,000 in the population to 139 people per 100,000 in the population. And the severity of the sentence has increased since 1993, so under Labour and the Conservatives.
Well, of course, Moronoko, of course he doesn't believe evidence, because he's not the one who planted it. So why would he believe it? Like,
by 40%. And I don't want to fall out, but it doesn't matter how many times you say, in my experience, the conclusion you've arrived at as a consequence of your experience is the polar opposite.
yeah.
Yeah, that seems wild that's the case. But if there's
But it's not going to change your mind, though, is it? These bloody statistics, these numbers.
No, because again, conservatism is about rejecting reality completely and utterly, and just accepting whatever feels and vibes you've got.
Yeah, let's see what he says. Who knows? I don't know what I mean, other than he mentioned he's a cop. We don't really know too much about him. So see if James can shame him into accepting some empirical reality.
We will see.
Actual facts.
Well, I think we all can draw conclusions from what statistics have come from and how we arrive at them.
You can draw one conclusion, and the conclusion is that the severity of sentences has increased by 40% since 1993.
Where are these statistics from, James?
This is David Gauke, the former Justice Secretary, who spent the last 6 months looking at all of the numbers.
What a trustworthy source that is.
Well, he's not.
Well, he's not the source. He's looking at the actual data, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. Again, this is the real fucking, like, conspiracy theory stuff. Like, what next? Are you going to question the man's religion? Or anything like that, maybe? Like, you can't trust those numbers. They come from those people, you understand. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't like David Gauke, but I don't know that he's produced bad evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck you... Oh, God. Again, it's the, do your own research. What fucking research have you done? Well, I reckon that X, Y, and Z is true.
Well, also, when you
Job
say with
done.
the sources, it doesn't mean, like, if someone produces a report, that doesn't mean that they came up with the evidence. You have to look at their sources. So it's also, like, slightly disingenuous to say, oh, yeah, well, his numbers. Like, well, those not his numbers. Like, he didn't make them up. He probably got them from the Justice Department.
Yeah, presumably they got them from the Justice Department, who got them from, let me just check, the police.
The prison, yes, the prison service.
Yeah.
Not an MP.
Was he not a former MP?
He's a former MP, yes. A former Secretary of State for Justice.
Well,
so nominally your boss.
I rest my case.
What case are you resting there?
Yeah, I was about to say, you'd have to start your case before resting.
Yeah,
surely.
you have to know what evidence he's actually looking at.
Yes.
Just because you're
In
wrong,
order for
then.
rest to occur, some exercise. Fucking hell! I just a fucking fit. Some exercise would have to have taken place.
The statistics of how you want to present them is how I'd argue.
Okay, and where'd you get yours from?
Ultimately, from experience.
This is from the
experience.
Independent Sentencing Review.
Yeah, your experience.
Right, why? The other question I'd want to know, James.
I just want to know where you get your overall national figures from, if not from the Independent Sentencing Review.
I wasn't talking from my national statistics. I was talking from lived experience, James, and the amount
lived experience is like, I don't know, your experience with racism or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't extrapolate from that to the entire society.
Yeah, you go in the cases what I pay attention to.
My lived experience. Oh my God. Can we stop teaching idiots woke language, please? Because they don't know how to use it. They don't know what these words mean.
Nope.
If he starts talking about restorative justice, I'm going to scream. I swear to God.
But where do you get your national figures from? Because you just said you can dismiss these. You said, I think, case closed or I rest my case. So what is your case? Where do you get your numbers from?
I don't think they're my exact words, in fairness, James. But
you said I rest my...
You literally, it literally was your word. I'm sorry, British Donald Trump is on the line.
Stop it.
He says the thing, and then he gets quoted back to himself. I didn't say that.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say that. Yeah. It might not be, but it may be.
Which reminds me of Trump when he came over to Britain. I think it was the first time he ever came as president, like years ago now. And he said something awful, and he was like in a recorded interview, and someone asked him about it, and he said, I didn't say that. And then they played the recording of him saying that, and he still denied he said it. And I just thought at that point, you can't, there's literally no point talking to him.
No, he doesn't occupy reality.
No.
My case.
The point I make is that I think statistics can be leaned whichever way.
So which ones do you prefer?
Like, you can, right? You can, expose bad statistics and stuff. I think I've used before my one about the head injuries thing. Have I told you that one?
Is this the one about how drunks are the ones that like?
No, although I do
have
like that one.
injuries?
I mean, that's actually just a true statistic. That was it. 1 in 5 accidents is caused by a drunk driver, which means 80% of motor vehicle incidents are by people who are sober.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show you that drunk people are safer drivers, clearly. But that's not the one I was talking about. No, in the 70s, when it was motorcyclists were first forced by law to wear helmets,
okay. Yeah.
the number of severe head injuries went up by thousands of percent.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, well, that's horrible. Fuck me. Clearly wearing helmets is very dangerous. No, those are the people whose heads would have caved in and died.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's actually saved thousands of lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you can twist statistics to say various silly things, but when it comes to is this thing bigger than the other thing, in sense of like, is this, the average sentence longer then or now? I don't know that you can really twist that, unless your data set is finagled in some way. Then what's your issue? Because you're not even questioning the fucking. He's not even questioning the process of the study, because he doesn't fucking know any of it. He's just going, oh, an MP did it, or an ex-MP did it, therefore obviously corrupt. Like, it's literally how a Nazi will say, oh, that you can't trust that. Jewish numbers.
It came from the Guardian.
Yeah.
And so what if it did?
Or like Trump will go, oh, that's fake news, liberals.
Mm-hmm.
What? This nonsense. Thank you, Executioner, for resubscribing. 43 months with Prime.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
There are some that reached FIDE, Christy. FIDE. Which I didn't even realise I was doing it that long. I've wasted so much time. And I've wasted so much of your time, chat.
Hours.
Yeah, exactly. And Christy's. Yeah. And if you want to reward me, you can do so in the form of bits and subs and subscriptions and super chats. These are things that you can do.
For me personally, James,
No. For the whole country. That's what the independent sentencing review. We can't all have our own statistics. You have 60 million people in the country. They all choose their own statistics. The ones that the government will use to legislate and the ones that the population uses to understand what is happening and the numbers involved. I give you the independent sentencing review. You, Reese, 15 years in the police service, give me...
I personally think for the country...
No. Where do I go? The website.
So literally, I did the joke about I reckon, and his response was, well, I personally think.
Yes.
So you just, I reckon. I reckon it's
Basically.
exactly like this. Oh, Christy, I have to live around these fucking people.
Yeah, and they vote.
Yeah, exactly. His vote cancels mine out.
Yep.
Oh, fuck democracy, man. What we need is dictatorship. It's the only answer, Christy.
Benevolent dictatorship
Exactly.
of electing authority.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what you need is me, basically, to make decisions.
King Kevin.
Problem is, though, I will need a lot of time off because I'm a lazy cunt. So I might need a kind of a little version of me. Can we what's it called?
Clone?
Clone is the word I was looking for. Can we clone me and make the other me?
Do all the work?
Yeah, we'll have to tattoo each other with like 1 and 2, and we'll get number 2 to do a lot of the work. And I'll pop in every now and then, check he's all right.
Statistical collation, the expertise.
Well, I'll do some stuff, but like the reason we've got number 2 is to do all the grunt work.
Yeah, but 2 might have that opinion about what 1 needs to be doing.
But 1's always in charge. 1 is a smaller number than 2, Christo. That is a fact. You can't argue with that.
There's you and your fake hierarchies.
I didn't say we were doing anarchism. I just said broadly leftism. Okay? We're still keeping unjustifiable hierarchies, okay? None of this linear bollocks. Fuck that.
That has been deployed to count all of the instances that we're discussing.
Kev Tanky arc incoming. Let's go.
The independent sentencing review is good enough for everybody else, but what do you use instead?
personal experience, lived experience. That's all I can draw from, other than a former MP giving me some statistics.
But no. It's the independent sentencing review that he is using to explain the facts. In some cases, obviously, pointlessly.
Well, listen, if they're the facts, they're the facts. But from my lived experience...
They're the facts, but I know better from my lived experience.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying from my lived experience...
It is what you're saying.
That's how...
It's exactly what you're saying. I've given you 5 opportunities.
This is literally how you get Brexit.
Yeah.
Because experts will come out and say, no, actually, if we do this, it will actually be quite damaging.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
No, it'll be fine, actually. Well, actually, no, it won't help the fishing industry. It will actually hurt it, and these are the reasons why. No, I reckon it'll help.
Yep.
Just a blind adherence to a pre-existing faith. That's it. That's literally it. What's this? Updated. Woman arrested as protester breaches buffer zone rules in Glasgow. 74-year-old has been arrested and charged after allegedly breaching abortion protest buffer zone legislation. It is the first... Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, well, get away from the exclusion zone. I mean, there's plenty of places other than that 150 yards or meters or whatever it is. You can't fucking go. So don't go there. It's not that difficult. It's like, when an ambulance is behind you, you get out of the way, right? Like, there are some spaces that you don't occupy because it's for safety, other people's safety. And if you do, you get a fine because you're being a fucking idiot and you're being selfish. And we punish that, and I'm glad.
Police attended the 74-year-old woman and was arrested in connection with the breach of the exclusion zone. Later, officials confirmed she had been charged and be reported to the Procurator Fiscal.
That sounds like going to the principal's office.
All of the official titles in Scotland sound a little bit Game of Thrones. It's a little bit like oldie worldy. They have sheriffs.
They still have sheriffs, huh?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that fucking works, but I've seen sheriff as a thing apparently.
Well, they have sheriffs in the States, but that's because they have like a lot of rural areas where you don't get, police officers.
Do they also have bands of Injuns?
Because I think cities have cops, and then the counties have sheriffs. I think it's a geographical thing.
See, just come back into the fold, America. You know you want it. You know you want to be part of the empire again. We were so great together. I'd say we've changed, but we haven't. You will just have to accept us and pay your fucking taxes and have no representation. Okay?
In pounds.
Yes.
Of course you have to
We
change
should go
currency.
instead of the independent sentencing review, and you've said my lived experience.
I can only go from my lived experience.
No, you can.
No, you can't. No.
Look things up online, mate.
Do you go by your lived experience when you go to hospital? And the surgeon says, no, we need to amputate this thing. You go, no, my lived experience is that's actually fine that my leg is hanging off. No, it's not. It's not actually. I've got 20 years as a fucking surgical resident.
You can acknowledge that you have what's called confirmation bias, and that's when you remember things that agree with what you already think.
The return of the sausages.
That's what he's doing here with his
England also
selective
has
memory.
Oldie World Sheriff.
What? What? England also... Thank you for the bits, Christian. England also has oldie-worldy sheriffs. I didn't know this. High Sheriff of the West Midlands? Who the fuck is this cunt? That's, by the way, West Midlands is the bit I'm in. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, you got your own sheriffy typey guy, lady.
Look at him, though. Dressed like a fucking 17th century dandy. Fuck off.
Nice.
And a horse. Is that on the screen? No. He's just got... There's a horse as well.
There is a horse on the screen.
So Douglas Wright, MBE, DL...
Okay, he's the High Sheriff of the West Midlands.
Yeah.
Looks like a chef, I'm going to be honest.
He looks like a cunt. Dr. Douglas Wright was declared on the 26th of March 2024, Law Court, Birmingham. The role of High Sheriff is an important one in our community. Is it? Because I've literally lived my entire life and I didn't know it was a thing. The High Sheriff is appointed by the King, although you said Queen. So, I know the Queen... that's the court is called the Queen Elizabeth II Court. The High Sheriff is appointed by the King and serves as the representative of the Crown in the county. The High Sheriff's duties include upholding the law. We've got police. Supporting the judiciary, ditto. And promoting the welfare of the community. Well, the police don't do that. On the website, you will find information about the Korea High Sheriff, their role and responsibilities. Okay, the role, that's what I want. What do they do?
We have sheriffs in the UK. For example, bailiffs are technically a sheriff of the court.
The role of the High Sheriff is a blend of traditional and evolution. Except for the monarchy, which in fact took a break under Oliver Cromwell, the shrievalty... What the fuck is... what is that word? Shrievalty.
Yeah, I'm learning all kinds of new
Is the
things
oldest secular one in the country and the only secular post surviving from Saxon times.
today. Who knew?
Provided in his laws for a screer man to resolve disputes. As the principal representative and agents for the Crown, the Sheriff's powers include law enforcement, judging cases in ancient Court of the 100.
Nice.
What the fuck is this oldie-timey shite?
That's amazing.
This is wank. Okay, what do they do? Right. Uphold and enhance the ancient office of High Sheriff and make a meaningful contribution to the High Sheriff's county during the year in office. Lend active support to the principal organs of the Constitution within his county, the royal family, the judiciary, the police and law enforcement agencies, the emergency services, local authorities and church and faith groups. Ensure the welfare of visiting High Court judges to attend on them at court and to offer them hospitality where appropriate. This is definitely a rent boy situation, isn't it?
I would say it seems mostly diplomatic and going to lots of parties. If I'm honest.
Provide hospitality where appropriate.
Yep.
Support the Lord Lieutenant, or Lieutenant, apologies. I went all American then. And you Americans may ask, where's the F in that word? There isn't one. That's the point. Fuck you. Support the Lord Lieutenant on royal visits and on other occasions he may be called upon as appropriate. Take an active part in supporting and promoting the voluntary sector, giving all possible encouragement to voluntary organisations within the West Midlands. What a load of absolute bollocks. This role does not need to exist. This is a fucking joke. Events, what are they doing? What's this cunt doing? Who the fuck is she? Is that just his missus? What? I don't know who he is. Smart works. What the fuck is Mayor of Solihull Civic Head Dinner? Community Friends Session? Greek School of What the fuck is any of this? I didn't know we had Greeks here. Who let the Greeks in? We told you, shut the door, otherwise the Greeks will sneak. Sorry, the Greeks will sneak in. Okay, so it's mainly just really boring shit. Okay, cool, awesome. Well, we have sheriffs here.
Yeah, apparently.
The only authority I bow to though is the general.
Yeah, is that me?
That's Dr. Christy Winters, who's called the general.
Yeah.
What do we have? There was a thing that happened. Thank you, Kieran with Bitty Bits, who told me about sheriffs. We're on a hype train. If we get to level 2 of the hype train, I will finger Elon Musk's face. Thank you, Elemental, with thingy with £5, who just says ... for the horse.
Okay. Nice.
I appreciate that. I'm glad the horse made you give me money. Is that what I need to do? Show more horses? Would you like that?
Yep.
You just like Vosh, you people. It's all about the horses.
You can go from the audited, collected statistical facts that deploy countless people to determine exactly what is going on in the country. You can go to that, or you can just go to your lived experience, and that's fine. I've done my best, and there it is. I mean, if you get arrested by Reese later today, great news. You're going to get a really lenient sentence. If you get arrested in the real world, you're probably going to get a sentence that's 40% longer than it would have been in 1993. And there it is, the most perfect, albeit unintentional, answer to the question of why does the British public believe things that are demonstrably untrue?
Yeah, literally.
What was it?
Now we know.
Lived experience.
Okay, there is one I do want to watch. We've got 20 minutes, so I feel like we can do this.
I spoke to you yesterday about normal.
So this is another JOB thing about Trump and Putin and blah, blah, blah. So I want to hear what old Libby Bollocks has to say about it.
All right.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Bias, which is
and this is from today as well, so it's up to date.
Psychological phenomenon from which I think we all suffer at times, not all the time, of course. I was trying to think what the opposite of normalcy bias is, and it's probably hyperbole. So normalcy bias describes a desire to disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. So you are presented with something that makes you go, oh my God, that's that. And then you automatically, there's some form of psychological self-preservation kicks in and you start, no, it can't be that bad. It can't do it. I don't mean false equivalence. I don't mean BBC-style two-siding facts. Here's Andrea Leadsom to claim that, the moon is made of cheese type of balance. I mean, trying to talk yourself out of.
Yeah. And the BBC sort of does this, and it's kind of a meme, but it's kind of true, where because they're a publicly funded body, they can't be too biased. So even when they have someone come on and say a really uncontroversial thing, maybe not as silly as, the moon is made not of cheese or something, but they have to have, like, if there's a significant portion of the population that believe a different thing, they have to have someone on that argues that point, even if it's demonstrably wrong.
It's silly.
So, like, an immunologist will come on and go, the COVID vaccine is an amazing breakthrough that will save millions of lives. And here's fucking Quingle McDingleberry to say the exact opposite and tell you that actually you should just eat horse shit instead. Because the Facebook has melted boomers' heads, and so they will believe any old shite now, and so we have to listen to fucking cranks. Like it's the fucking 18th century.
Thinking, fearing, believing that what you're looking at is apocalyptic, what you're looking at is deadly serious. And of course, I think the opposite of that is hyperbole. Because hyperbole involves saying that something is apocalyptic and something is deadly serious when it isn't. And we have to walk this tightrope together at the moment. I thought perhaps we were putting these days behind us when Keir Starmer got elected. I don't know how naive that was in retrospect.
Unbelievably, you fucking dolt. Yeah, like your support of Keir Starmer was embarrassing, and you will be damned for it.
Thinking that we're returning to days of relative stability and normality.
It's nice, isn't it? The quiet on the Western Front.
As opposed to normalcy. You're not going to have a barefaced liar in the House of Commons. I mean, abandoned by his entire party, found to have lied repeatedly, and then running off with his tail between his legs to the Daily Mail. You just presume there'll be stability. And good God, there is. Thank goodness we have somebody who, though flawed and fallible, is clearly not a pathological liar, for example, or an incurable narcissist in number 10 Downing Street, or Liz Truss. I haven't got the adjective.
No, he is a pathological liar. He's just less aggressively annoying than Boris Johnson, so Liberals ignore it.
I just like that Liz Truss had her own category.
Well, yeah, because she is. Like, you can't... she doesn't have a pigeonhole that one can put her in. Liz Truss is its own thing. Mm-hmm. For a start off, just temporally, it doesn't make sense because she wasn't around long enough. For like, what do you compare her to? A fart? Like, it smells bad for a little bit and then the wind blows it away? Like, what is it? I don't know. She lost to a fucking lettuce. That's not normal.
But you cannot for a minute underestimate the import of the moment that we find ourselves in. It's incredible, this. This is not a moment for worrying about hyperbole. This is a moment for worrying about normalcy bias. This is a moment where you have to try to silence the voice in your head that is saying, this is really bloody serious. Now, Donald Trump is lying on a scale that is almost impossible to compute. And he's not just lying. He is the online Kremlin propaganda made flesh.
Yeah.
He is repeating the line.
He is an RT statement from the White House.
That your Auntie Doris's Facebook has been serving up for the last 10 years about Ukraine being responsible for...
Honestly, I didn't pre-watch. I just, Facebook has melted a lot of old people's brains. That's just an observation that anyone can make.
True.
AI, on the other hand, is going to fucking kill them. AI is going to literally destroy old people. They won't be able to handle it. Oh, I saw a video of Keir Starmer. He was kissing the Pope. Oh. Did you know that Angela Rayner has joined ISIS? I saw it. She said Allahu Akbar.
For its own invasion. Remember when Farage spoke about, you don't poke the Russian bear? That pro-Kremlin propaganda has seeped into so many corners now of the online world that it has... Well, again with Trump, you don't know whether he is caught up in it or simply harnessing it for his own ends. But he is absolutely, as Sir Ben Wallace said this morning to Nick Ferrari, he is absolutely parroting Kremlin propaganda lines or propaganda lies, whatever you prefer. And that is incredible. That is not a moment for worrying about hyperbole. That the President of the United States of America is peddling Kremlin, pro-Putin propaganda.
Yeah, we need to stop pretending that America can be treated as a good faith actor in this. I know we're in NATO and we're supposed to pretend and care, but no. Europe needs to actually fucking batten down the hatches because he cannot be trusted.
Yeah, Europe is the last bastion of democracy now.
I mean, there are like Hungary and Poland, and there's some questions there. I know what you're saying.
It's got its own issues. Oh no, Europe's got its own issues, but still, it's doing better than most of the like Americans at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. Now, it's one of those mornings where I always feel like the kid in The Sixth Sense seeing dead people. I don't see links that don't exist. But I have a few stories that are not immediately, obviously relevant to what we need to talk about this morning. The first involves Elon Musk. Quite briefly, because I think this is important in terms of what people do online, what people see and what people end up believing. Elon Musk reposted an image of what the original poster said was a hospital in Birmingham.
Oh yeah, I covered this yesterday. I might actually edit it out and put it out as its own video on YouTube because I haven't put a video on YouTube out in fucking years. Or in 8 years maybe. I don't know. Elon Musk said that there was a hospital in Birmingham that had been taken over by the Muslimics with axes and knives.
Oh God!
It was
nothing like it.
It was a scene from The Dark Knight Rises.
God, what an idiot! He's such an idiot.
Yeah.
He's such a bigoted
The United
idiot.
Kingdom being overrun by migrants storming the premises.
But Christy, we already know from Fox News that Birmingham is 100% Muslim.
Yeah, all over the place. There's no-go areas for white people apparently.
Yeah.
Those streets you can't go down.
I am, albeit a very bad one, a Muslim. That is true. Fact.
Axes and
Inshallah.
knives. The account, which is the kind of thing that Twitter is now almost entirely dedicated to, claimed that the picture had been taken in Birmingham and that the story was buried on mainstream media. That poor woman that I eavesdropped on in Hounslow last week was adamant that the mainstream media never gives you the full story. The woman who believes that Michelle Obama is a man and that Vladimir Zelensky spends all the military aid he receives on yachts. I can laugh at her,
God.
but the President of the United States of America is now signed up to exactly the same feed. So Elon Musk shares this picture, shares this claim. Mainstream media are ignoring it. Would you like to know where the footage came from? The footage that was being described as migrants wielding axes and knives storming a hospital in Birmingham that had been buried on mainstream media. It is widely believed, I mean, it's clearly fake. It appears to be from the Batman film The Dark Knight Rises. So it wasn't Birmingham, it was Gotham City.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
It wasn't real, it was cinematic.
He got no shame. He's
And
got
that's
no
Elon.
shame.
Yeah.
They just have no shame. That's part of the problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. The West Midlands Police. Although, interestingly, not the West Midlands Sheriff. I notice. now that I'm aware of his existence. And the West Midlands Police had to come out and say that this wasn't true, that they had received no reports of any disturbances at hospitals in the city at all.
Elon Musk, arguably the second most powerful man in the world at the moment. Certainly the rich.
I think the most. I don't think Donald Trump's in control of anything.
Oh God, no!
Including his own
control
faculties or
bladder.
bodily movements.
Yeah, I was gonna say he can barely control his own bladder.
Just using his own propaganda machine to tell you and anybody else on that site that Birmingham hospitals are being overrun by migrants wielding knives and axes. How many people believe it? With that woman I overheard in Hounslow last week when I was on jury service, does she believe it? I suspect she probably does. And then you come to the Romanian election, which is something we should probably all be reading up on rather more, because it's almost the distillation of a lot of the problems that we face. So the last Romanian election was annulled because when the results started coming in, two people, a chap called Salin Georgescu and a woman called Elena Lasconi, were performing incredibly well, despite the fact that certainly in the first case, nobody had ever heard of them prior to the election. And this
They couldn't even find an actual stooge that's like a politician. They just got some fucking randos. just went trawling around the streets of Bucharest. Anyone fancy being a Russian president for us at all now? Okay. I mean, honestly, that speaks well to how uncorrupted the politicians of Romania are. They couldn't find one politician that would take a bribe. Are you joking? How clean is the Romanian parliament? Fucking hell. But honestly, he really is just trying to get the band back together, isn't he? Let's get the old Soviet Union and the Eastern Bloc. Let's fucking have it, lads. Come on. What the fuck are you doing?
Jason Isaacs.
This is where things
get
really tricky.
Death of Stalin.
Yeah, he's trying to Zukov this shit.
Yep.
Let's go.
Because it was the Constitutional Court that annulled the first round results, citing Article 50, Paragraph 3 of Romania's electoral law, which allows for annulment if significant fraud or interference likely impacts the election's outcome. And what they discovered...
Which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, if a rando no one has ever heard of starts winning loads of votes, that does suggest to me...
maybe?
Yeah, look, I don't think I need to go full Hungarian vector on this.
Yeah.
There's no bamboo paper needed. I think that's a bit... That's sus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was a slate of coordinated misinformation campaigns on social media. But, of course, this was done secretly. Russian-sponsored. What Elon Musk is doing now is, I mean, shrugging off any semblance of secrecy. Sharing it, and they do what Farage did after
True, no, the hospital was taken over in my lived experience. Yeah, true. That's the winner. That's the winning argument right there. In my lived experience, the Muslimics have taken over. Yeah.
Used Andrew Tate as his news source prior to last summer's riots. They say, just asking questions, questions.
And fucking Trump's trying to get Andrew Tate. They're trying to get the Romanians to release the restrictions on Andrew Tate.
Because he's all for the sexual predators.
And the British government, exactly, yeah, he's a fucking... He was fucking Jeffrey Epstein's mate. Of course he's a fucking nonce lover. The British Home Office have contacted American officials to guarantee that no pressure is put on any UK official in the case against Andrew Tate. Because when Romania's eventually done with its interminably long fucking system here,
in years,
even if Andrew Tate gets off the hook, which he won't, but even if he did. Because the random nobody who just got elected Romanian president somehow wins or something, I don't know, and lets him off, then he gets extradited to the UK to face similar charges here. So the UK are literally having to ask our NATO ally to not interfere with our own internal fucking legal system.
Yep. Unbelievable,
Honest
right?
to God. America's so fucked. So fucked.
What's going on here? Not doing the most cursory of checks to see whether this stuff is true, but spreading misinformation on a hideous level. Social media, cyber attacks, influencing public opinion in Georgescu's favour. So I've
Yeah, I
seen
saw
him
that,
described as
Maria,
a
yeah.
TikTok puppet, with the Kremlin pulling all of the strings, but pulling them so effectively on TikTok for people primed to believe things that aren't true, that they end up voting for him. The investigation, which of course is why a certain type of pundit and politician likes nothing more than attacking judges, because judges are, in some ways, our last line of defence against dictators and fascists, against oppression. That is why courts decide to annul an election because a foreign state has clearly targeted them. They wanted a pro-Kremlin candidate or even a pro-Kremlin proxy in charge or in the Romanian presidency. It's not clear-cut for me, this. That's probably the single greatest flaw with democracy, is that people who believe something that isn't true can win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who just thought of Brexit? So
Yeah,
it's Democrat, it's
Brexit
the
or Trump, yeah. I mean, they're both perfect examples of it. Yeah. People who believe and say awful, wrong things can win. Yeah.
will of the people, but it's the will of people who've been fed a diet of undiluted nonsense and lies. But democracy is the best system we've got. How we cope
Oh, yeah,
with
the UK is
democracy's
fucked as well.
vulnerability to
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that you can have a win for liars. You can have a majority of people who believe things that aren't true. I do not know, because I don't think it's ethically or even politically clean cut that the Constitutional Court in Romania should have annulled this election. That this, quotes, will of the people. So we pull that together.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think it is. I think you need to be far more robust than I think, again, shitlibs like JOB are prepared to be. The way you stop attacks on democracy is not by pretending that democracy will just survive. Because Germany tried that shit, and it didn't work. Spain, to a certain extent, tried that, and it didn't work. Although they did fight back, but whatever. You can't just hope that the institutions will survive. You need to make them survive. You need to give them the support necessary to survive. And that's why you see, like, there's so many of those institutions in America. They're on fucking life support right now. And they need people to fight for them. Otherwise, they'll disappear. They'll die.
We have the events in Ukraine unfolding. We have the events in Romania. We have the events online. We have all of these things unfolding in real time in front of us. And then you have Donald Trump overnight making it absolutely clear what his relationship with observable facts is, what his relationship with the truth is. And this is why I began this morning by talking about normalcy bias and hyperbole. Normalcy bias is a cognitive bias which leads us to believe things that aren't true because we're frightened of them being true, to disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. Hyperbole is a device we deploy.
I'm going to be culturally sensitive and say Gesundheit.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, get a little.
I think my blue passport just disintegrated. So that's how it works.
Best understood as exaggeration. So here is somebody saying something, oh my God, that's like Hitler. Sounds like hyperbole until it is like Hitler. And when it is like Hitler, normalcy bias kicks in and we start trying to talk ourselves out of that grim conclusion. So just listen to it for yourself and possibly register what kicks in first. Fear of hyperbole or fear of normalcy bias?
I want to see peace. Look, you know why I want? Because I don't want all these people killed anymore. I'm looking at people that are being killed, and they're Russian and Ukrainian people, but they're people. Doesn't matter where they're from on the whole planet. And I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have
Yeah, but they weren't invited. You didn't invite them.
never started it. You could have made a deal.
Didn't start
I could
it.
have made
They were invaded, you evil cunt.
Yep.
a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land
No, it
Everything.
wouldn't.
Almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down. This could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years
So
ago.
do it.
When they're worried about not being seated, you mean somebody that should have gone in and made a deal along?
Also, you said you'd get a deal done in one day.
Yeah, where's the deal, mate? You're like, so you're insulting the people that you're trying to make a deal with. That's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
Time ago, you could have made a deal. This is one that could have made a deal. There was no talk of this during the Trump administration. Putin would have never, ever done it.
10:15 is the time. So there it is. Donald Trump has...
he was doing that. Do you not remember the whole quid pro quo thing that you did? Where you tried to bribe him? Do you remember that? That was the Russians doing that. That was the Russians having their agents on the ground, fomenting, at the very least, a civil war in eastern Ukraine. So they were doing that when you were president, and you tried to extort political capital for your own election purposes out of a guy whose country was being invaded. You prick.
Has blamed Ukraine for being invaded by Russia twice. Donald Trump has claimed that Volodymyr Zelensky is somehow responsible for the continuing carnage that has come about as a consequence of him defending his sovereign territory from the rapacious, imperial, murderous ambition of Vladimir Putin. It's incredible. So what question do we ask this morning? I mean, there's one in the back of my mind that I am frightened to articulate. The other element of domestic politics that pops into my brain at this moment is the mockery of Kemi Badenoch. But she has clearly calculated that appealing to this radicalized online right who believe all manner of lies is going to deliver political success for her in the way that it has done for Donald Trump, and may yet...
But it won't, because they've already ceded that territory. Reform have that territory. Kemi Badenoch can't win. The Tories are dead. Krista?
I mean, we're a long way away from elections, so it's kind of hard for me to say, but I guess the polling is going to be kind of irrelevant now for a couple of years, really.
Well, unless Keir Starmer's government falls.
Yeah, although I don't think that that's too likely, do you, given the size of the majority?
It depends how badly the polling is looking for him.
Well, okay.
I mean, we'll see. I don't think it's likely, but I mean, Brexit wasn't likely, and it happened. You know, look at things happen.
Well, Brexit was in the margin of error. It's just
events, dear boy,
was...
events. You can't tell what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we get to like sit back and think the Tories get to have their 3 or 5 years. I don't see why Labour has to be worrying every 5 minutes the sky's going to fall.
They don't have to, but it's just going very badly for them. You know. That's all I'm saying. Look, I'm not saying it's likely. I don't know that it's been
going good for any government for a long time in that country.
Yeah, we are fucked.
I mean, basically since Brexit, it's been fucked.
To be fair, it was fucked before then. That's what led to Brexit.
Yeah, but Brexit kind of like put a whole new angle on being fucked.
True.
Do for other far right, I mean, avowedly far right political movements in other European countries. When Americans tell lies about Britain, often racist lies about Britain, it's designed to scare the horses. It's to make people think, gosh, I better, Donald Trump can protect us. We won't end up like this, even if it's not true, the thing that they're frightened of. They do it about their own country, but about foreigners in their own country. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. And I will protect you from these marauding hordes, these foreigners. Look at what's happened in Europe. What I don't understand is how anybody who is living in Europe...
Well, do you remember what happened in Sweden last night? Do you remember that thing? No. So this was again during his first term. Donald Trump saw something on Fox News where they were reporting on like migrants in Sweden or something. And in his head, he thought something had actually happened. So he was like, oh, what happened in Sweden last night? Did you see that? It was amazing. You can't let that happen here. We're going to close the borders. And nothing had happened in fucking Sweden. It's just in his fucking, demented old brain. He saw a thing about Sweden and went like, oh, there must have been something happened in Sweden because of the Muslims. You know.
Brown people.
can join in. It is arguably the least patriotic act imaginable when a foreign politician tells lies about your country to agree. So when Kemi Badenoch talks about Western values being imperiled, disappearing under threat, maybe she's a member of the radicalised online right. Maybe she believes all this stuff, spends so long on social media that she can't even find the time to stick her head out of the window and just have a little look around. But that is where we are now. And the question I don't want to ask you is whether or not it's already too late. Whether or not Vladimir Putin has actually won. And Ukraine is just the final piece of the evidence jigsaw.
No, I don't think that's necessarily... I don't think we need to do a council of despair at this point. I think there's... We can club together as a group of European nations and stop that at the very least. Yeah, Maria, I did say that. We'll cover that another time. Yeah, I don't think it needs to go that far. I think that's doomerism you're giving into there, James.
Yeah, I think Ukraine will say no to quite a lot. Because what's the point of them saying yes?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you might call it sunk cost fallacy or whatever, but like, you know, people are not robots. People can, you know, give in to those kind of things. Like, having sacrificed so much to just roll over and have their belly tickled at this point, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
No. Look, and even if that means that Russia win the war or something, like, people, the old saying about was, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Like, people don't want to just meekly roll over and get fucking, you know, destroyed that way. They'd rather fight and die than live as a slave, you know?
Yeah, Russia's got a lot of post-war problems and issues that they've got, you know, like this really, I keep saying about their population problems. This war has just chewed up a lot of their, you know, basically reproducible age, you know, people.
Not just the people have died, but loads have left as well. Yeah.
Because for the President of the United States expressing disappointment that the Ukrainian leader was unhappy about being left out of talks between the US and Russia over the ending of the war in his own country, when he talks about Ukraine...
Well, Tharia, there is a way of avoiding adverts on twitch.tv/KFlogan1875, and that's by becoming a member.
His ability to have made a deal in order to have somehow averted
subscriber.
War in the very beginning, when he essentially repeats Kremlin lies about the necessity and inevitability of invading, you kind of think that it's, for one part of this board, if it were a game of Risk, that's over now. The Kremlin and the White House are aligned. And yet Ukraine...
Well, yes and no. They are obviously aligned in terms of the rhetoric, but you've got to bear in mind, again, he's not a king. He can't just decide things. Like, he thinks he can just make Ukraine take whatever deal. Again, I don't think that's the case at all. And he doesn't want to look weak. He doesn't want to look like Vladimir Putin played him. So I don't think he can afford Russia to just roll in and take Ukraine. So at the very least, he needs to keep a trickle of arms going to them, to keep them, like, in the war or whatever.
Ukraine was a moment of, I'm going to say, political beauty in this country. I know that there are caveats, but forget the caveats just for a minute. The effort that the people of this country, the citizenry of this country put...
Hello there. Who was this? Hello there, RTP Talks. Oh, I don't know this person, I don't think. Do I? Do I know RTP Talks?
I don't know who you do and don't know, Kevin. Sorry.
Sorry, no, a person just raided in.
Oh, right.
And I'm not sure I know them. Elon versus MAGA is their thing. Anyway, hello there.
We're wrapping up as well here.
Yeah, we're wrapping up as well, but, you know, We can stay on for a little bit, just to make sure that people follow. Hello there, everyone following. Much love. Nope, we just found you. Okay, well, hit the follow button. We talk about politics too. Oi, oi.
Put into helping refugees, even when the government didn't really step up to the plate very effectively. Ordinary people did. Like the kinder transport, the government, history doesn't often relate this, but the government was pretty delinquent when it came to helping Jewish children out of Nazi-occupied Europe.
It was. We didn't take many
real
at all, yeah.
Families stepped up to the plate, made financial pledges, and housed and homed people. And the Ukrainian refugee exodus was, I think, possibly the biggest we've ever undertaken in this country. People listening to this program from Ukraine, still living here. People listening to this program still got refugees.
I've turned the alert noise off because thank you to everyone following, but we don't need to listen to the Yankee Tanky say victory is ours a million fucking times. It's fun every now and then, but you know.
He's living in their house from Ukraine. Everyone agreed. It was a moment of political unity at a time when we thought such a thing had become impossible in the aftermath of Brexit, in the midst of ludicrous confected culture wars, in the dog days of footballification. Ukraine was the thing we all agreed on. Putin is a menace. Ukraine deserves support. And now the President of the United States, historically our greatest ally, is saying the polar opposite. It's all Zelensky's fault, and he's got no right to be at the peace talks.
For his own country.
Yeah, for his own country, yeah.
It's going to work out well.
You never stop fighting. You can't stop fighting. You can't look into the eyes of people like Marina Litvinenko or Vladimir Kara-Murza or Yulia Navalny, as I have done in the last 6 months, all three of them. You can't.
I don't know who those people are.
Nor do I.
But presumably Ukrainians who have fought is the
Russians.
context I'm getting.
Yeah.
Can't look into the eyes of those people and say we need to stop now. We need to give up. But this is, I think, a victory.
And yes, Brody, he doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to footballification, but like he's not making a bad point that most people in Britain were like, yeah, Ukraine has the right to defend itself, and that's, yeah, we should probably support them. In a time when Brexit and Boris Johnson and fucking evil shit like this is all, you know, divided people, the fact that there was an issue that we all kind of agreed on was nice. It's a pretty fucking rare occasion in recent times.
Kremlin on a scale that we can't even begin to properly process. So what the hell do I ask you at 10:20 on a Wednesday morning? I genuinely don't know. I know I say that a lot of mornings. My normalcy bias is preventing me.
So footballification is the idea of it being my team, your team. So football in this instance means soccer. Hello, Americans. Yeah, but it's like the idea of my team versus your team, and it's like a team sport dynamic, which unfortunately happens so much in America. When it comes to, like, you know, Donald Trump's people literally see it as him versus like the world. And that's not a healthy or useful approach to politics, actually. Like, there's nuance and shades of grey, and there's, you know, some issues that you might be more left-wing on or more right-wing on. The idea that it's like, well, if you wear this colour or you support this political party, you're right. Not really. That's not how it works.
I'm asking you whether or not it's too late. So if I ask you whether it's too late, it opens the door to the possibility that you tell me that it is. And I don't want to do that because of my normalcy bias. But I said at 10 o'clock, today's a day for ignoring the normalcy bias.
Oh, Lapin, we know that Trump doesn't support Talk for All Americans. Literally, my co-hostess with the co-mostess, Dr. Christy Winters,
Hey!
is an American for whom Trump does not speak.
Yes. Very much not speaking for me.
You have to drown that voice out. Champagne corks are popping in the Kremlin, said my good friend Bill Browder, who knows more about the Kremlin's kleptocracy than almost anybody else alive, on Newsnight a couple of nights ago. Champagne corks are popping in the Kremlin. Actually, I think it was last night.
True. Oh, the Kremlin loves it.
Is that it?
100%.
Is it? I mean, what does this mean? 0345.
Well, it's never over. It's never over. Even when Hitler had taken over most of Europe, Did we accept it was over? No, because that's
No, you
not
gotta
how.
be like the Rush or the Romans and the Punics in the Punic War. Just never open. Just like do another.
Exactly.
Build some more ships.
Putin delenda est. That's a little Pliny reference there. You're very welcome.
So, that's us done.
Are we done?
I think so. Yeah, it's 10:15 on a school night. So.
On a school night. What you got going on tomorrow that's so important?
Got school. Got school going on tomorrow.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll let you go then. I'll let you go then, Christo. Okay, who should I kick everyone over to on the various platforms? Well, on the 2 platforms. I'm on YouTube and Twitch, obviously. Let's have a look at Twitch. Who's going live on Twitch right now? Fucking nobody. Oh, actually, no. Katie Montgomery's going. Katie Montgomery's a good person. Go and check them out. And on twitch.tv, we have... Who do we have? Tina 2. I'll send you over to Tina 2, who's good people. Is your name the same on YouTube? It is not. I am... what am I on YouTube? I'm Kevin Logan on YouTube. That's Kevin... space Logan, if you want to go and follow me over there, new people, and welcome new people. I'll be back tomorrow with the Question Time show, which will be on Ukraine. Although No Justice will not be with me because, ironically, even though she is British, she's in Chicago.
Oh, okay. She's at a con.
Yeah, she earns a decent wedge. From she plays Magic the Gathering, like semi-professionally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's on like a tour. She went to Italy late last year for a thing, and then she's going to Chicago. Like she's doing all right.
Okay, cool.
Which, like, Magic the Gathering is degenerate, and I don't condone that kind of ungodly filth. But you know, so's Dungeons and Dragons, and you do that. So
that's true.
In many ways, I'm enabling your moral crimes. The pair of you. Who did I say? Tina. I said Tina, didn't I? Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow, probably around 8 p.m. UK time, which will be 3 p.m. on the east coast of Americana land. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And Christy will be with me possibly Friday for it.
Friday I'm in London.
Oh, okay. So, no, I'll be on my own Friday then.
Yeah, and then Monday's my birthday, so I'll be drunk.
That's no excuse.
Yeah. So then maybe again Wednesday next week. Because Friday is the start of Carnival, so I will once again be drunk.
Carnival! Well, we'll see. We'll talk.
Okay.
And my people will contact your people. We'll sort out a date.
Yes. Sounds good.
Okie doke. Yeah, thank you everyone for your support. Thank you, new people. It's goodbye from me and goodbye from Christy. Say goodbye, Christy.
Goodbye, Christy.
She did the bit.
I did.